And here we are at the Headwater Science Center in beautiful downtown Bemidji. Today we're going to do a little kind of a brief show on combustion. Now, we put the question out to the audience before, what is combustion? Well, you may not know that word right away, but you do know the word that it represents. What is that word? What is that word that it represents? A four-letter word that rhymes with tire. What?
Fire.
Fire, exactly. So we're talking about fire. Now, don't take fire lightly at all. It's dangerous stuff. It can burn you. So I don't want you guys to try this stuff at home, okay? Those of you at home, don't try it there either. So the point is, fire can burn you, and I have been humbled and burned by fire several times. But I do it in the name of science, in the name of being a provocative amateur, and I do it because I think we can learn from it, and I also sort of enjoy it. But here's the thing. Before we get started with something dangerous like that, and especially when we have lots of kids in the audience, we make you have to take a pledge. And now the pledge has got no legal binding, it's just a really good suggestion. So raise your right hand, unless you're left-handed, then raise your left hand, and now look at your hand. Jiggle your hand. You love your hand. Your hand is the most probable accident to occur with fire. To get burned on the hand is pretty common. So, repeat after me. I promise that I will never ever, ever do any of these things at home or do anything scientifically stupid the rest of your life. Well, we'll see. But I really don't want you to go home and start playing with chemistry. We control these burns, and so we usually are not too surprised. And we don't like to be surprised in this this demonstration. We've got a fire extinguisher here. Ladies, I need a spray bottle with water in it. Somebody forgotten that. Water, thank you. And so we have two. We'll have two fire extinguishers pretty soon. I've got this one, and I have never had to use that. So that's my claim to fame on this demonstration. So let's talk about what a fire is. There are three things you need to have a fire. There are actually four, but let's talk about these in terms of three. What are three things that this fire needs to keep burning? What? Does it? It's burning on maybe, huh? What?
Air.
You have to have air, but more importantly than just air, you have to have, it doesn't have to be this air we breathe, oxygen, and some 20% or so of the air we breathe is oxygen. What else do we need for a fire?
You need fuel.
We have to have fuel. Now the fuel in this case is an alcohol, and it's just wicking its way up that piece of rope and burning it out of the top. So you have to have fuel. Oxygen, fuel. One more thing necessary. Actually two, but we'll talk about the one. What? Well, we gotta get it going with how. You rub sticks together, you're doing what?
You're creating sparks.
You're creating sparks. You have to have heat. You have to get at some combustible point for your fuel. The different fuels have different combustion points. And we'll kind of look into that a little bit too. So these are the things you need to keep a fire burning. And if you remove one of them, the fire goes out. Pretty clear, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But let's look at fire, a couple of fires, and see if we can't figure out how we're going to make this work out for us here. I used to have, I do still, I'm going to make this fun. A wad of cash. Oh, it was payday yesterday. Yes, lots of cash. Okay, so I have a wad of cash and I have a $20 bill. You blame fool, you. We should be saying that. I didn't even know if I had that right. I don't have a receipt for that. Well, I want to make that work. I'll wait till she gets back with her water for that. Okay, I'll do it. Look at 91, but I'm going to have to calm that down a little bit. She's not back with me. I'm going to wait on that one. So let me try something else until she gets back with some liquid for me so I can tame that stuff down. Now this stuff I have here in my hand, or at least in my jar that I'm going to put in my hand, is called lycopodium powder. And I'm going to put that in my hand. And I want you to see what it is. I don't want to just, like, I'm doing hidden things over here. I forget I don't have my teeth anymore. So that is the pollen of a ground pine called the lycopodium pine. It's not particularly flammable. However, we change something, and that's what we do in science. That's how we make statements about what we think is going on. We change something. It doesn't really burn in my hand in a pile. However, when I spread it out, it seems to burn quite well. Why? Why? What's so different about it setting in a pile in my hand or in a bunch out of the air? What? Answer my questions? What?
It's able to get more oxygen.
More oxygen. And here there's only one surface that's getting oxygen. And when it's out here, there are all kinds of surface areas. So when we increase the oxygen potential, we also increase the possibility of that fire. This is H2O water. Good stuff. I got to make a mixture here. Put a little bit of that in there. See if that works. Yeah, that's about right. I'm gonna do that, right? Let's try this. After all, is a real $20 bill, which they are going to be retired. The 20s we're going to get retired, and then it turned out, no, wait a minute, it's Hamilton we're going to get rid of. I thought, well, wait a minute, I thought it was Jackson we were mad at. Well, I don't know who we're mad at anymore. I can't keep track of who we're mad at anymore, so I just stayed not mad at anyone. So I've got a real live $20 bill, and it burns. But yet, it has not been consumed. What happened here? Feel it. Feel it and report back to the group. Is it hot?
No.
It's not even hot. Is it kind of dry? Kind of wet too, isn't it? A little bit damp? Yeah. So what did I do? What did I mix here? I mixed some of that water that just came up, and thank you for not bringing alcohol, and some alcohol, and it was the water that protected the bill and kept it from, I don't want to distribute that. Confident in this mixture. It was the water that protected the bill from burning. So the alcohol sat on the outside. It had a lower flash point, and in there was some water in the bill that soaked into the bill. Before that place where the water was soaked into the bill could burn, you had to break through these hydrogen bonds, and then before you really could burn water, you got to break up the polar covalent bonds. A lot of energy. Point is, it wasn't there. It couldn't happen. The water protected the bill from burning. So that was one way that we kept that bill from being a problem. All right, let's try this something else here. Let's try that same idea. I'm going to move this off here. Try this here. Oh. All right, alcohols. That's the one I want. So I'm going to pour some alcohol on this. I have a little piece of t-shirt material in here. We'll see why I wanted that. Not very good. And I will need this. Let's get that started. Where is my part of that? Okay, I'm going to use this. Fuel up the demonstrator. Mask down. Okay. Go. Got to keep yourself fueled up. So here we have a nice little fire going. Well, it's pretty respectable. Warming to the hands. I could probably cook a couple of weenies in there. But as we burn the fuel away, the fire isn't really going down yet. There's a bit of fuel in there. But why, oh why, when I spin this like this, with less fuel than we've ever had, do we have more fire than we used to have? And a lot of times the same answer is right again, but sometimes a different person telling me the answer pleases me more. Why? What do we have more of? We have less fuel, but what do we have more of? Hopes, dreams, and desires less. We have more oxygen. When I spin this thing, it actually makes negative pressure in there, and that draws more oxygen in. Let's see if we can. Nope. And then the oxygen itself creates an oxygen channel for that weather to bring more oxygen in. And so, why do we use water to put out a fire? At least allegedly put out a fire. Why do we use oxygen to put out a fire?
You need the big sprayer.
Huh? Man, that was a stubborn fire. Why?
Because it cuts off its air.
It does that and more. It actually addresses all three of these burning elements. It does make the oxygen less available because it sort of smothers the place it's burning. It makes the fuel less burnable because with water added to it, and alcohol does mix with water, it is less flammable, and it takes the heat away. It draws the heat onto itself. So water And it being on a lot of places in nearby where the fire is also pretty convenient. So let's keep that in mind. Most of the time, water is going to be a pretty good fire extinguisher. All right, let's put that little fire out. And we put that out by smothering it out, taking the heat away. Here's something I need these for. Well, you can tell if your master's got my glasses are fogging up, my master's. All right, so I'm gonna grab 12 milliliters of this stuff. This, by the way, is ethanol. And just like when you administer drugs, when I do chemistry, I check it 3 or 4 times before I commit to it. So I'm going to squirt that into there. That's ethanol. Top, I like some of the top. I don't like this top. So, and now I'm going to vaporize it in there. So there was a puddle of alcohol that you can actually buy right there at the local filling station, ethanol, which is the byproduct that they put in with the old dyno fuel. And so what is it made of? Anyone ever heard of ethanol? What is it made of? What do you make that stuff with? You want to say? What? Little dude, what do you got? You make it from corn? Yeah, that's what most farmers are making it from right now, is corn. Good answer. But you can make this stuff from garbage. You can make it from turkey necks. You can get it from a lot of places. So vaporizing is really just not making it go into a gas, but making it go into a very fine particles of alcohol in there. And the better I vaporize that, the better that's going to show what we want to see. So I've got that in there. Keep that covered. And predictions, when I put fire to this system, what will happen? It'll go. So the truth of the matter is, some people get themselves in trouble with this because they use less fuel, and less fuel is actually worse than more. More fuel will just get to a kind of a sloshy burn, but less fuel, we want to burn, not an explosion. Okay, so we're going for a burn and not an explosion, and let's keep that in mind as we watch this one go. All right, it's not too, ethanol hangs heavy, so it stays in the jar for the most part. It doesn't come out. So as it chugged on, it actually shifted that alcohol, which is what it was in ethanol, into a liquid. And the liquid that it became is water. And that sometimes surprises people that a combustion event creates water. You think, oh, that'll create a lot of the weird stuff, not water. So, yeah, some people, of course, are turning water into wine. Well, we essentially put wine back into water. So, we're putting it back in its place. All right. We've got that done, shown. We've got to try this on now. We're going to need Ridley here. She's working with us today. And we have a sort of a saying around here that we throw you right into the fire. So we're going to put her into the fire here. And she's never done this trick before. But I have, roughly. Go out of the frying pan into the fire. What I want you to do is to put your hands into each one. And then I'm going to put some bubbles into, get your hands built down without overflowing. Put your hands good and wet. Now we already know, and now I'm going to make some bubbles. What I want, should we be doing this, Lidley? What? Okay, so grab up a bunch of those bubbles into your hands, and then, oh, that's a good one. And then let's walk away from the flammable materials and turn this way a little bit. Here we go. And there we go. So those bubbles are actually filled with hydrogen. So they're hydrogen bubbles, and hydrogen, as we know, is very reactive. And we got to see that again. Is that cool? Yeah. All right, let's try it again. All right, so now you're going to wet your hands. And remember, like the bill, the water, which is what this mostly is, protect your hands. Okay, record. Did your hands burn? No. You were more surprised than hurt. We're putting hydrogen bubbles into here. And then you're going to scoop up as big a bubble as you can. And we are going to make sure to go favor and for the camera. These ones underneath kind of surprise people. So again, it's such a beautiful, such a lovely, beautiful lazy flame. All right, now there's that. Does anybody else? Who can we want to trust that might want to try that? Somebody who's not quite okay. You can do it. Come on. Roll up your sleeves first, though. And gotta get your glasses. Oh, your sleeves are up. Do you have some glasses here?
No, I can grab another pair quick though.
We're gonna grab you another pair of glasses. We want to make sure you're safe because bring them on. That's your dude. Bring them on. We got some glasses. For the blinding light too. Now you're doubly protected, okay? So we're gonna try this. Now put your hands in there first. Not overflowing too much. All right, get them wet though. You're good. It's always fun to watch somebody. Now pick that up. Pick that up. Turn it around. Give it around. Our camera's right there. Go for that. And now get rid of those. Don't be surprised. It's gonna go poof. Oh, super chill. I gotta get this lizardy behavior up again. That was good. Nice work. Let's give our volunteer hands. Not easy to get out there. You just need a little water to have clean hands. Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good at work, man. The glasses are working for you, though, by the way. I think he needs the glasses. I'm just saying, just a suggestion. So I'm going to have this other bunch of. Looks kind of like a brain, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You saw that right away, too? Well, I got to let it go some way, so I might as well just let that have its light. Woo! Okay, there we're letting it go. All right. Where are you? Come on.
So, question from Chad is why did you use hydrogen for that?
Well, because hydrogen's a reactive gas. It's available. It's light. We see it. We can get a hold of it. It's just a really good reactive gas. The hydrogen doesn't just hang around and be like, oh, let's go find some hydrogen. No, you got to get your hydrogen from things on Earth here because the hydrogen that was pure hydrogen went off into outer space and other places. Couldn't hold on Earth. So the hydrogen that we have left, that we have, you can have that. The hydrogen we have left on Earth was is usually connected to something, and sometimes those are used to keep that. So this is something different than we just throw. Now, watch what's going on there. What? That's what I was looking for. So what? Okay, furthermore, now look again. What's going on there? Woo! What? That was my boy. I got a little scared on that one too. So this stuff, you might say, that doesn't look like regular cotton. It looks like it, but it doesn't act like it, right? Nah. This has actually been treated so that it has more oxygen at the surface. And as such, there's oxygen right intermixed with the material, and because of that, it burns really quickly. All right, we go on to that. I got you up here because I wanted them to see that cool monkey arm. Now, what are we supposed is in here? No, it's not hydrogen.
Oxygen.
There's not much oxygen in there. But oxygen, helium. And helium is actually sort of the opposite of hydrogen, where hydrogen wants to mix with everything. We let hydrogen off in this room, it'll mix with our lungs, it'll mix with the ceiling, it'll become a part of whatever has an opening. Helium is the opposite in that regard. They're about the same weight, but this is a noble gas. It won't mix. It doesn't mix. When I let this helium go, it's going to seep through the ceiling, get through the roof, go up out into the air out there, and it's going to head to outer space. We didn't even discover helium, and that's what this is, on Earth. We discovered it on the sun. So helium won't mix. Because of that, we know that it won't burn. It doesn't burn. It cannot. Oh, but it does raise your voice when it wasn't there. It's up through the ceiling right now. So you have to be loud. And you're going to want to stand. Let's do a practice with you. Let's say you're lit. You're going to want to come up in here, like here. Right? Okay, well, then we got the perfect person for the job, because we're going to watch you jump while you do it. Come on. So this is not helium. This is actually what we had earlier, and you're going to let it off first. Hydrogen, it's the lightest element in the universe, and it's very reactive, as we said. And because of that, it'll mix with this. This is not silent, okay? So we're going to set this free, and you're going to. You want to? What?
Not gonna do much for you, but they're there.
Is that all it is? You still want to do it? Don't want to do it?
I'll do it. It's just.
That's all right. We're taking a stepping stone here, aren't we? So we're going to set this free, but before you do, I want you to give us a sort of a count back, and that is 5, 4, 3. Wait. Let's do it for real this time. 5, 4. Wait. Then we're going to say combustion, okay?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Combustion! So, and your fire's burning. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
She did it, even though she doesn't like loud sounds. She did it because she did it for you guys. So let's give our help a hand. And that's our mini show today. That's our mini 3:30 show about combustion. Are you okay?
Yeah.
You made a milestone? You did great. You did really good. So thank you for coming to the Science Center today.